With New Year's resolutions, many of us will make a vow to eat healthier, and that's a good thing. But what about our beloved pets and their nutrition? Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black here, and I'm on a mission to provide better nutrition for cats and dogs because truthfully, all pet food is dead food, which is why we created Rough Greens and Meow Greens in the first place. We bring their food back to life with live vitamins, minerals, probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, antioxidants, and so much more. All in a tasty formula that your dog and cat will love. You can improve your pet's coat, digestion, energy, and have less vet bills. Let 2025 bring a new year and a new pet. Get a Jumpstart trial bag, normally $20. Get a 100% discount with promo code BESTFRIEND. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com, use promo code BESTFRIEND. Bring your pet's food back to life with Rough Greens. So good, your pet will ask for it by name.
Sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here, and we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, don't forget. All right, something doesn't sound right. Hold on. See how that. All right. I've gotten some new headsets, and it doesn't sound right. So, I guess I won't be using those. Either that or I got to get used to them. But the Jersey Takeover is here. And don't forget, starting July 3rd, the Jersey Joe from the Reaver of Common Sense will be taking over the nighttime airwaves. That's right, we will be moving to the 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. time slot. Oh, nighttime conservative radio will never be the same. I had absolutely shitty goddamn weekend. Unbelievable. Kind of one of those that you're going, shit, what do I do? Most of the people know that I was applying for disability and fighting through that. I have multiple issues going on. I know I do the show. I do this one to get my voice out, to keep my head busy, because sitting around the house kind of has a tendency to drive you absolutely batshit crazy. So, even after several hearings and medical and all this other crap, the judge denied, went against all medical opinions, and says, basically in his own fashion, he doesn't see how I'm disabled. I can't walk not 2 blocks, maybe a block and a half without my legs going completely numb. I don't even sit for this whole show. I'm up moving around, dropping things. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And I mean, that's why a lot of times I may not be on the air. The medical issues I have, some days I can't do diddly. So yeah, I got denied. There's no recourse at this point. So it's, oh shit. So me and my wife got to, regroup. This weekend's been a little bit of a, just quiet reflection. So, yeah, I had a pretty shitty weekend. My father, I mean, I can't say that it was Father's Day. My daughter. I'm up at all hours of the night because of my back and stuff. And what my daughter got me, because I go through flashlights. She usually breaks them, but she got me a solar-powered flashlight, which was kind of cool. But if you really think about it, the oxymoron that fits in that, it's a solar-powered flashlight. So you need the sun to make light work. Come on. The oxymoron in that is just amazing. All right, let's get back with the show. Oh, man. The left's just been... All right, we're going to get into it. I'll get into it, but... let's bitch and talk about unity, and then what do? We're going to go out there and, there are more death threats against us, woe is me, and, use it for a political points movement. And that's what they're doing. It's... unbelievable. Oh, who got that Windows update? Oh, man. I don't see a major issue except for I have gadgets running on my Windows. Or my desktop, I should say. And, oh, damn, did it screw them all up. I have alarms, while I'm doing the show, it'll set alarms off to tell me, hey, dumbass, you got 5 seconds before the show starts. A couple times I'll be like doing something off on the side and, oh shit, I'm late. When it's time for break, it'll look, oh crap, I'm late. Oh, that's the other thing. This weekend, I got to get off my derriere backside. I got to redo all my promos. I got to redo my exit music. It's crap on a cracker. Oh. Where did that go? It's... I don't know. Now they found on the Alexandria attacker, he was carrying a list of Republicans marked for assassination. But I can see how the Democrats have it worse. Not a Democrat name on it, but, I see how it's worse for them. They just, oh my God, it is so much worse for the left. Woe is me. After police took out Alexandria attacker James Hodgkinson, they discovered an assassination list consisting of Republicans in his pocket. Not only were the names on the list Republican, they were House members who are among the most conservative Republican. Life News notes that the 3 representatives are pro-life. Doesn't that make you feel better? Poor liberals. Jackasses. It was a hit list. And there's so many... Oh, my God. We did... Oh, my God. No, we wouldn't do that. Never. Well, if you start looking at the politics of some of these mass shooters... They're Democrats. And everybody knows it except for the Democrats. They don't want to admit it, that it's the Democrats that go on these wild shootings. It's not the Republicans. For the most part. I'm not going to give it 100%. Like last night, and a buddy of mine threw up there, well, how come when you have this and it's a Middle Eastern light brown, it's always terrorism, Muslim terrorism? But it seems like there was a incident yesterday in London, I think London, where somebody ran a vehicle into a crowd, and it was a crowd of Muslims. And they don't talk about terrorism. No, here's the thing. Here is the thing. You don't have... we have countries that have declared war back onto the Muslims, but the Muslim faith, a sect of it, a cult, however you want to put it. I'm not going to get into, the debate, the division. It's all yes, no. What the hell? Somebody took their vehicle and rammed a police car in Paris. But going back to it, it's... There's no really a sect. This is a... it seems to be a regular, everyday person. And he wanted to kill Muslims. And my friends are like, why is this terrorism? All right, terrorism, number one of the main parts of it is to change political ideology. This is just an asshole that's going around trying to kill people based on their faith. There's a difference. And I can't understand how the people on the left cannot see the difference when it comes to that. Congressman on Hodgson's hit list warns of rise of the militant left. We all seen it coming. Sackhead Sean has said it. I've talked about it. There's been a rise for a while now. I'll save that for tomorrow. Some of the big cases still to be heard from the Supreme Court. It's what that guy did, driving his van, murdering a bunch of people, is not right. Did he do it for the same reasons that the Muslims are doing it? Not really. There's, like I said, that sect, there's a cult that has declared this war on the United States. So it's kind of different. And I don't understand. They're so caught up in trying to protect this sect that they're willing to throw everything to the wind And I don't get it. Because he is he's, God damn it, is he smart. And to be falling for this, it just, he knows better. He's fallen into the trap, and I just can't believe it. I respect him to the hills, but I'm going to respectfully disagree with him on this. And that's the one thing I've liked about me and this buddy. We've always been able to respectfully disagree. Sometimes very adamantly disagree. But we've always respected the other person's opinion. I still respect them on it. What the hell? But this, to change subjects again, this shooter has really, we've been watching the left ramp up their violence slowly. And now they've gone from swinging baseball bats to shooting. It's a major ramp up of what this country has turned into. And the only one that's going to help stop all this bullshit, there's only one. The Democrats have to come out there and calm that talk down. Because they're the ones that created it. They are the ones that have created this talk. And some that are on the list are Republican Representative Mo Brooks, Representative Jeff Duncan, Representative Trent Franks. All three representatives are members of the House Freedom Caucus, and Duncan and Brooks were at the congressional baseball practice on this past Wednesday. But Duncan left before the attack had occurred. It's just, you would think this would have woken up the left and said, shit, we've gone over the line. Silver alert. For those that don't know what a silver alert is, it's an elderly person that is unaccounted for. It's sort of like an Amber Alert, just for elderly. You would think that the left would have stepped up. And, the first day they did, they were like, oh, we got to stop this. This is getting too far. And it didn't even last 24 hours. I know they'll probably blame the right. Well, they said right after the shooting that it was our fault. It is! And that's the thing. The left is not going to allow, or they're not responsible. Say, you know what, it is us. They probably get more people back him. That's the thing. The shit that they're going through, they're pissing people off. They're pissing more people off with their antics than anything. And you know what? Yep, we pushed it a little too far in our comments. This is not what we were after, but we pushed it too far. People, we need to stop this. This is not what we were talking about. But we did push the rhetoric maybe a little too far, use some words we shouldn't have used. We won't do it again. I think people would have went, you know what? Hey, holy shit, look at that. Nope. We can point their heads. And Pelosi's out there. It's Fox's fault. It's Trump's fault. Oh, my God. Thought maybe, just maybe, you can get through. Have some time of peace. Nope. God, was I mistaken on that. Damn, that was like stupid 101. You know better than that. Jersey. Oh. What are we going to do? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little break. And we'll be right back after these brief messages. And you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here. Oh, wrong one. What the heck? All right. Whoever is the producer and setting this stuff up is fired. Damn it. All right. I guess I'm fired. We'll be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. That July 3rd is coming up quick. Before you know it, we will be off the daytimes and on to the night. I don't know what I'll do with myself. That would be pretty interesting. It'll be pretty interesting, I'll say that. Oh, man. So the U.S. has shut down a Syrian aircraft. And I'm wondering how that's going to go over. That could set things into a whole new light. I'm not disagreeing with it being done, just going, oh, shit. Ruh-roh raggy. The U.S. military on Sunday shot down a Syrian Air Force fighter jet that bombed local forces aligned with the Americans in the fight against Islamic State militants, an action that appeared to mark a new escalation of the conflict. The U.S. had not shot down a Syrian regime aircraft before Sunday's confrontation, said Navy Captain Jeff Davis, a Pentagon spokesman, while the U.S. has said since it began recruiting, training, and advising what it calls moderate Syrian opposition forces to fight ISIS, that it would protect them with potential Syrian government retribution. This was the first time it resorted to engaging in air-to-air combat to make good on that promise. Well, we actually have a president that says something and means it. The U.S.-led coalition headquarters in Iraq said in a written statement that the U.S. F-18 Super Hornet shot down a Syrian government Su-22 after it dropped bombs near the U.S. partnered forces known as the Syrian Democrat Forces. It was shot down near Syrian town of Tabika. Something like that. So they fought, they tried to step up and challenge us, and we went, no. So basically what happened is Trump said, here's a red line. You cross it, you die. Well, unlike Obama, Syria crossed that line, and someone paid with their life. Holy shit. A leader that does what he said he's going to do. Isn't that amazing? I'm dumbfounded we have a leader that says, this is what I'm going to do, and he does it? U.S. military statement said that it acted in a collective self-defense of its partner forces and that the U.S. did not seek a fight with the Syrian government or its Russian supporters. They escalated. They knew what the chances were. And now I'm going, could this escalate us into another war? I'm not saying we should back down for fear of it. I don't foresee Russia really stepping up and forcing a fight. They don't want any type of war. They know that it would not be good for them, and it won't be good for us. Putin's a lot of things. But the one thing he is he is smart, and he understands that an outright war would not be good for his people, for the world. I know he's going to beat his chest, and he's going to thump and step up. He's got to. But we'll see how that goes. It's these countries are not used to us being leaders anymore. They're used to us backing down. That's what we did for 8 years. We kept backing down, backing down. And it wasn't like we went out there and, all right, we're just going to bomb them. But it's according to a statement from the Pentagon, a pro-Syrian regime forces attacked the U.S.-backed Syrian Democrat forces held town of Jidin, in northern Syria, wounding a number of SDF fighters and driving the SDF from the town. Coalition aircraft conducted a show of force and stopped the initial pro-regime advance toward the town, the Pentagon said. Following the pro-Syrian forces' attack, the coalition called its Russian counterparts to de-escalate the situation and stop the firing. A few hours later, the Syrian Su-22 dropped bombs near SDF fighters, and in a collective self-defense of coalition partner forces was immediately shot down by U.S. 18E Super Hornet. It stung. They call the Russian counterparts. Shit, we don't want to start a war, but you know what? You guys are being assholes. We're not going to take it. We're not going to take it. No, we ain't going to take it. No, I think I've lost my mind. I think I lost all my marbles. The coalition's mission is to defeat ISIS in Iraq and Syria, the Pentagon said, using an abbreviation of the Islamic State group. The coalition does not seek to fight Syrian regimes, Russia or pro-regime forces partnered with them, but will not hesitate to defend coalition or partnered forces from any threat. U.S. forces tangled earlier this month with Syria-aligned aircraft in the region on June 8th. U.S. officials reported that a drone, likely connected to Iranian-supported Hezbollah forces, fired on U.S.-backed troop and was shot down by an American fighter jet. The incident took place in southern Syria near a base where the U.S.-led coalition was training Syrian rebels fighting the ISIS group. It's pretty cut and dry. Pretty cut and dry. They've been trying to ramp this up. We're not. I mean, I think it's a backdoor to help those forces, but at the same time, we're there to fight ISIS. And they're trying to, well, they're not. All right, next piece. I'm going to be playing the clip. And it's a little bit long. So bear with me. Shnikey, 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 shnikey. I got to find it real quick. Janet. Do I have? Sorry about this, Ed. I'm not prepared. Oh, I'm not prepared for class today. Uh-oh. I'm not prepared for class today. Oh. That's weird. All right, let me see. Nikes. I have two of the computers disconnected from how I used to do it. Long story. And now... so it is there. All right. Sorry about this. That was pretty dumb of me. Oh, Elizabeth Warren says to Donald Trump, "You ain't seen nasty yet. Jesus Christ, they're shooting at us, and that's not nasty enough." Yeah. This is not good. Actually, we're going to watch something or listen to something. Chris Wallace and Trump's attorney really get into it pretty good.
The investigation into possible links between Russia and Trump associates and whether the president has tried to shut down that probe took some dramatic new turns this week. Joining me now is Jay Sekulow, a member of the president's legal team. Jay, I want to start with the president's tweet Friday that I discussed with Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar. Here it is again. "I am being investigated for firing the FBI director by the man who told me to fire the FBI director." Witch hunt. Has the special counsel, Robert Mueller, formally notified the president that he is under investigation?
The president has not been notified by anyone that he's under investigation. That tweet, Chris, was in response to the Washington Post story that alleged that 5 unnamed sources, anonymous sources, leaked to the Washington Post that the president was, in fact, under investigation. So that tweet was in response to that. There's been no notification of any investigation. Nothing's changed since James Comey said the president was not a target or a subject of investigation. Nothing's changed.
Well, but you don't know that he isn't under investigation now, do you?
Well, no one's notified us that he is, so I can't read people's minds, but I can tell you this. We have not been notified that there's an investigation of the President of the United States. So that nothing has changed in that regard since James Comey's testimony.
I want to go after another part of his tweet. Why is he going after Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein? First of all, he seems to imply that Rosenstein is investigating him. That's not true. It's Mueller. And secondly, he made it clear in an interview with NBC that he decided to fire Comey well before he ever met with Rod Rosenstein. Take a look.
I was going to fire regardless of recommendation.
So there was
he made a recommendation. He's highly respected, very good guy, very smart guy. The Democrats like him. The Republicans like him. He made a recommendation. But regardless of recommendation, I was going to fire Comey.
I want to ask you a direct question. Does the president think that Rod Rosenstein has done anything wrong?
The president has never said anything about Rod Rosenstein doing anything wrong. Here's what is the legal situation here. There is a constitutional issue when you have this scenario. The president made a determination based on consultative advice. He decided ultimately, he's the commander-in-chief. He gets to make that decision that James Comey had to go. That was coming, by the way, from groups right, left, and center over the last year. You and I know that. So there's been concern about James Comey. It was put forward in a memorandum, that's what the president's referencing, from the Deputy Attorney General and the Attorney General requesting the removal of James Comey as the FBI director. And ultimately, that's the president's determination. So here's the constitutional threshold question, Chris. The president takes action based on numerous events, including recommendations from his attorney general and the deputy attorney general's office. He takes the action that they also, by the way, recommended, And now he's being investigated by the Department of Justice because the special counsel, under the special counsel regulations, reports still to the Department of Justice, not an independent counsel. So he's being investigated for taking the action that the Attorney General and Deputy Attorney General recommended him to take by the agency who recommended the termination. So that's the constitutional threshold question here. That's why, as I said, investigation.
What's the question? I mean, you've stated some facts. First of all, you've now said that he is being investigated after saying that you didn't.
No.
You just said,
he's
sir,
not being investigated.
you just said that he's being investigated.
No, Chris, I said that anything. Let me be crystal clear so you completely understand. We have not received, nor are we aware of any investigation of the President of the United States.
Sir, you just said
period.
2 times that he's being investigated.
No. The context of the tweet, I just gave you the legal theory, Chris, of how the Constitution works. If, in fact, it was correct that the President was being investigated, he would be investigating for taking action that an agency told him to take. So that is protected under the Constitution as his Article I power. That's all I said. So I appreciate you trying to rephrase it, but I'm just being really direct with you here,
Sir, I didn't rephrase it. The tape will speak. Jay, the tape will speak for itself. You said he is being investigated, and it's not just being. Wait a minute, Jay. And it's not Jay. It's not just being investigated for firing Comey. There's also the question of what he said to Comey when Comey was still the FBI director. So there's more than just the fact that he fired Comey.
Chris, let me be clear. You asked me a question about what the president's tweet was regarding the Deputy Attorney General of the United States. That's what you asked me. And I responded to what that legal theory would be. So I do not appreciate you putting words in my mouth when I've been crystal clear that the president is not and has not been under investigation. I don't think I could be any clearer than that.
Well, you don't.
And it's the same thing when he went up against, Jake Tapper. They keep mouthing the same thing over and over and over again. He was responding to a tweet or a state news article. And he was making a point. And they're not smart enough to understand that, or they're just out to start shit. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are The Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. It's unbelievable how the media is just like trying to get gotcha moments, and that's all it is. Nothing else. Just gotcha moments. Why all of a sudden? Come on. I hate this mixing board. I really do sometimes. It really goes. Now, sound good. All right. It come on. I want to get a baseball bat sometimes. There we go. And that's all that Chris Wallace was trying to be a gotcha. Look what I did. Anybody with a brain understands. And if they were under investigations, I am sure they would have known by now. And there's been no confirmation. 8 anonymous sources, unnamed sources, like Rosenstein that came out, I think it was Friday, and said, don't always believe all these anonymous sources because you don't know who they are. I've been saying that. With disability, and as much as they use it, to me it sounds more like we can make up whatever we want and just say an anonymous source told us, so we're going to cause problems, so we're going to say anonymous sources told us. You know, I think it's basically a bunch of bullshit made up by... Damn. Woo, that's a low-flying jet. Made up sources by Washington Post. Outright lies. And, we'll call it an anonymous source. No. You know, don't even say what country these sources came from. And now they're going to be like anonymous sources from the United States. Because we have an anonymous... okay, they're giving us trouble. Okay, we got 9 anonymous sources. Oh, they're still going to... We got 25... And that's it. I mean, the number has been increasing, and it's kind of funny almost. Seriously. It just seems like this unelected intrusion into our government is trying to govern us now. All right. Hannity says it best. I'm going to let him speak on it. A little bit long, but I'm going to let him speak. I like Hannity.
All right, so the unelected fourth branch of government is now being aided and abetted by the Destroy Trump media, all in a massive effort to damage and destroy President Trump. Now, this week alone, we have seen unprecedented and potentially criminal leaks from the deep state to the liberal Washington Post. Now, the liberal smear machine is masquerading as a news outlet in their reporting, citing, of course, once again, anonymous sources that the special counsel is now investigating the president for possible obstruction of justice and that Robert Mueller is also looking into Jared Kushner's finances and business dealings. Okay, how is it possible that they dare to leak information almost every single day without any fear of consequences? And by the way, they're wrong so often. President Trump responding to that report today, tweeting, quote, "I am being investigated for firing the FBI director by the man who told me to fire the FBI director." That's a witch hunt. Now, the president, of course, is referring to the Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein, who, in a 2-page memo, laid out the strongest case on why Comey needed to be fired. Now, Rosenstein, now he wants an investigation by the special counsel to investigate why the president fired Comey and whether or not this was the right thing to do. This is insanity. And by the way, the special counsel now has 13 attorneys, and on top of that, including Hillary Clinton's attorney and multiple attorneys that donated to both Obama and Hillary Clinton. Now, predictably, the Destroy Trump media, they're jumping all over this. They are, of course, hoping that it will lead to President Trump's downfall. Let me remind you, the Washington Post, ABC News, the New York Times, CNN, NBC, they have all gotten it wrong on this issue. They all, at this point, with the American public, should have zero credibility. So we have to take these latest so-called smoking gun reports, come out late night, every night, with a grain of salt. Last night, the Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, he issued this statement about trusting these stories about the, quote, coming out of the fake news media. He said this. He said, Americans should exercise caution before accepting as true any stories attributed to, quote, anonymous officials, particularly when they do not identify the country, let alone the branch or the agency of government with the alleged...
I want to point out the country part. I really do. Why? Because what's going on right now and what the Democrats are doing sounds more like a Russian operation to interrupt our country. That's what sounds like a Russian interference operation looks like, what they're doing now. And the information that's being leaked and put in the newspaper, that sounds more like a Russian operative to me than all the bullshit that's being spewed by the liberal media.
Sources supposedly are affiliated. Americans should be skeptical about anonymous allegations. Now, the Department of Justice has a long-established policy to neither confirm nor deny such allegations. You know what? I don't trust any of them at this point. On top of that, James Comey, remember, he testified last week. The media has been so dead wrong when it comes to stories about Russia. And by the way, while all of that is alarming, it proves everything we have been saying on this program. This deep state, this fourth branch of government, as we're calling it, doesn't care about getting the truth to you, the American people. And, of course, the media, they're the willing accomplices. Their goal is the exact opposite here. They are selectively leaking information, intelligence information, that is meant to damage, in this case, the President of the United States of America, which is exactly what we have been seeing now almost on a nightly basis. Here's a perfect example. James Comey told President Trump he wasn't under investigation. Somehow, that's the only one thing that never got leaked to the press. Why? The reason should be obvious. And what's worse is the growing targets for the deep state. They've been successful in totally slowing down the president's agenda, Congress's agenda. Now, so far, they haven't been able to stop him, which means the deep state is now going after anyone who's even close to the president, including his family and White House advisors. And by the way, even people in the media. The deep state now plans to create as much collateral damage as possible, targeting everyone and everyone from the president straight on down. So what we're seeing now is this unelected fourth branch of government looking for retribution, overturning a duly elected election. And by the way, they're not going to stop until this president is either stopped or thrown out of office. Here's the problem. Whoever is leaking this information to the media, they need to be arrested. They need to be prosecuted. Every one of them needs to be put in jail. Why hasn't every Obama holdover been fired? Why have the leakers, not been discovered and arrested at this point? Now, these people have now become a clear and present danger to this country and to you and the things that you care about deeply. Now, because these people now have, of course, done this to the country, well, that raises a lot of questions. Of course, now we have the left and their vicious and vile daily hatred that is now tearing this country apart and creating a climate where what we saw last week is now, in some ways, even encouraged by some. Now, last night's so-called show of unity, remember, I'm not falling for it, the Kumbaya moment at the congressional baseball game, it was nothing more than an illusion. Now, this week's left-wing assassination attempt on these Republican lawmakers is the culmination of endless, vitriolic rage, animus, hatred towards the president and Republicans. I'm not saying anybody but this individual is responsible, but this atmosphere is so unhealthy. And those that are unhealthy, are they susceptible to potential influence of daily lies, misinformation, conspiracy theories? Remember this stunning video from this week.
Do we know where he's at? Do we know where he's at?
Now, after everything that we have seen, can anyone say that they're surprised that a left-wing lunatic went on a shooting rampage? For example, just this week, an opening night performance, Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, New York City, of course, featured a Donald Trump look-alike, getting what? Savagely murdered. Then, of course, this most graphic example that we always warn you about before putting it up on the screen. Kathy Griffin, CNN host, posing like an ISIS fighter with a fake and bloody and severed head of President Trump. And that's just a few examples of this left-wing vitriol. Remember back in January, Madonna literally threatening, fantasizing about blowing up the White House. Remember this?
Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I am outraged. Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House. Now, leftists, Hollywood liberals, they aren't alone in viciously attacking the president. Then you got the Destroy Trump media. Now, for months, 11 months almost, they have done the exact same thing, if not a lot worse. Take a look at what so-called news looks like. It's real fake news, though. Take a look.
I understand where you were coming from. I understand why you liked him. But this man is lying to you.
Trump's critics, those who are worried about this president and this White House, saw a live special television event brought to you by narcissism, thin skin, chaos, and deeply personal grievances.
This was a white lash. This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president in part. And that's the part where the pain comes.
When he said today, America first, it was not just the racial, the Hitlerian background to it.
This is a very sad night for the country. You can't polish this turd.
When he called you fake news, what if you had called him a fake president?
He's there with his wife. He's there with his whole family. As I say, like the Romanovs. He's got Jared, who might be a part of this story, like hint, and he's got his daughter Ivanka. It's like a traveling royal Romanov family.
You can't defend what the President of the United States just said. If he took a dump on his desk, you would defend it.
And now we're supposed to believe all these media folks and Democrats are preaching unity, but yet they have done nothing but smear, slander, besmirch this president for months. In case you forgot, take a look.
This executive order.
Schumer crying. What's mean?
was mean-spirited and un-American.
Republican leaders and President Trump don't give a about the people they were trying to hurt.
I will fight every day until he is impeached. Impeach 45. Impeach 45.
This is a bunch of scumbags. That's what they are.
Those are very strong words,
organized around making money.
We've seen nothing that we can work, well, I can work with President Bush on. I'm trying really hard to find something positive. This morning he had 3 tweets. I was thinking he was more of a creature that stalked the night, that these things just came out at night like a vampire. And they tweeted these things, but now it's spread to the morning.
And after Wednesday's left-wing assassination attempt, the Huffington Post, they had to take down an article calling for the president's execution. Take a look at the headline we showed you last night. Impeachment is no longer enough. Donald Trump must face justice. And here's the subheadline. Impeachment, removal from office are only the first steps for America to be redeemed. Donald Trump must be prosecuted for treason and, if convicted in a court of law, executed. Beyond disturbing. But there are plenty of other examples. Earlier this week, liberal Hollywood actor, left-wing activist Mark Ruffalo, he called on his followers to sign a petition that demands NBC News stop hiring conservatives for on-air positions, white conservatives. We've also seen people like Robert De Niro and Mickey Rourke and Marilyn Manson advocating for violence against this president. And outside of Hollywood, then, of course, you have groups like Black Lives Matter. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them? Now. Pigs in a blanket. Fry them like bacon. Hillary Clinton supported that group. President Obama met with them in the White House. They've been spewing hate for years. And by the way, where was their criticism of Kathy Griffith and our ISIS pose? Take a look at Black Lives Matter.
Pigs in a blanket! Fry like bacon! Pigs in a blanket! Fry like bacon! Pigs in a blanket! Fry like bacon!
Also, we have all seen the out-of-control anger and rage that is springing up all over college campuses where, showing you video. Berkeley, California, early this year, protesters starting a riot. Why? Because a conservative was going to speak at the university, the home of the free speech movement? Now, while all these examples of hatred are shocking and alarming, they're not new. Now, the roots of the left's rage go back decades, if not further. In fact,
this is nothing new coming out of them. And what's funny is now the conservatives are using some of the same tactics. And same tactics, they're protesting. There was a protest at CNN this past weekend. Several people interrupted that Caesar in the Park play in New York that was depicting assassination of Donald Trump through the play. Oh, they didn't like that. They started screaming, you're trying to shut down freedom of speech, but it was okay in Berkeley and all the other colleges when they shut down freedom of speech. That's okay. The left, and what's funny is some of the establishment on the right, we know, don't do that, that's bad. No. That's why the establishment has been getting its ass kicked and not getting shit done because they're too much of a pussy to fight back. And now we got groups of conservatives that are willing to protest, organize, and use some of the same tactics. I'm not calling for violence. I do not condone violence. I don't want to see violence. I don't want to see anybody picking up arms and attacking anybody based on their political ideology. But if they're going to interrupt stuff, stop speeches, we ought to be doing the same. We should be out there protesting, doing the same. Give them a taste of their own medicine. They're going to stop doing that shit real quick because they're going to have to come out and condemn the right for doing it, so they're going to have to hide that they did it real quick. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and we're trying to make sense out of the senseless. Trying, at least trying. Well, the Jersey takeover is going as planned, and Phase 3 is we're taking over the nights. That's right. Jersey Joe will be moving July 3rd to 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. I know Dan the Man Butcher's been underneath the weather lately, and I want to wish him, get well. Get back up on your feet. We need you, Dan. Bill Myers, he actually had someone from Breitbart come on the show. I give him credit for inviting and giving the forum to have a discussion. But Bill Myers on Friday commented on the congressional baseball shooting by stating that you wouldn't think something like that would happen on the left. No, that's exactly where I expect it to be. Myers said the shooting this week, it was a liberal. It was a Bernie Sanders supporter. I mean, it's odd. We live in a strange country. We would never really think this would happen on the left. We think of the right as the people who pick up guns and do crazy things like this. Is it significant that this was a liberal? This is what liberals do. You know, they have this preconceived notion that just because we're pro-Second Amendment, we're these gun nuts and we go around shooting people. Majority of these mass shootings that happen have been happening from people on the left. And they'd like to cover that up so that they can have these misinformed thoughts out there. He also meant it was somebody who watched MSNBC all day, and not that they're to blame either, because they certainly are not. But later in the discussion, Bill Myers stated that neither the majority of the liberals nor the majority of the conservatives look to violence as a solution. I kind of say hold the phone here, because it's the liberals that I keep seeing are the ones committing the violence. And it's not just with guns. I mean, baseball bats, poles, bicycle locks on chains. I mean, there's a lot that the left are doing that is violent. It doesn't always have to be committed on a person, the violence. And when they quote-unquote protest, and they start rioting and destroying stuff. And, well, baseball, they do it. Or sports, when they win these big games. I don't think that's proper either. That's disgusting. And they should be charged to the full extent of the law. They're always, I love how they can divert and deflect. But there was the question during Sessions' hearing, you know, how he wasn't answering a lot of questions. And I brought up, well, that's exactly how it happened for 8 years. Why are you bringing it up? That's the past. We don't want to talk about that. There's no need for that. But wait a minute. When it suits them, they bring up the past. For 8 years, we heard Bush, 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 Bush. Now they don't want to hear about the shit that was done under Obama's administration. They want to hold Republicans to this god-awful high standard. Well, you know what? I don't play that. Homie, don't play that. Let's see. Where is it?
Oh, yeah! Degrade myself, huh? I don't think so. Homie, don't play that. Homie, don't play that. Homie, don't play that. Homie, don't play that.
I love that. That to me is funny as hell. I miss those days. That was some great comedy. When people weren't afraid to make, that show made fun of whites, blacks, Puerto Ricans, everything across the spectrum. And it wasn't racism. It may have hurt some feelings, but you know what? It was comedy. I friggin' make fun of myself all the time. And for being white. Who gives a shit? Learn to laugh at yourself. It's the problem. Too many people take themselves a little too serious. Learn to laugh at yourself. And you know what? Things will get a lot better in this country. Problem is, everybody's got too uptight. They got their panties in an uproar. Now we're seeing, I know this might be mean, but the downfall of Megyn Kelly. You know, all these news agencies and stations thought she was going to be the next greatest. Nope. Her unedited interview with Putin is getting leaked out, and she looks weak as hell up against Putin. She didn't ask any hard-hitting question, and she still got embarrassed by Putin. So her next interview is with Alex Jones, and I love it. Automatically on the left, everybody thinks he's a fan. I'm not. I'm not a fan of Alex Jones. I'm not going to bash him, but I don't agree with a lot of things he says and does. But he can do that. But Megyn Kelly thought it would be, this would be a smart. I'll go and interview him. Yeah. That was a big mistake. That's caused a lot of controversy. And then, you know what? They say, well, there's no bad media. Yeah, there is. She's getting, and it's not good. It's not good for her. And there's some executives that are saying, well, oopsie, we may have made a mistake here because they thought she was going to be this big rising superstar. She was a star because she was saying things that some people agreed with. When her true opinions came out, a lot of people didn't agree with her. And her star started to fade because the left already sees her as a conservative hack and the right sees her as a traitor. So her superstar status is going down the toilet. But NBC thought, oh, great, we can grab her and we can put her on the air and we'll look great. Well, it's not the way it's working out. What was great about her, for whatever reason that she switched, a lot of her comments and her viewpoints matched up with a lot of conservatives. Then, for whatever reason, I guess she felt she could tell us how to think and all that. And that pissed off one too many people when it came through the primaries. And that's where her big downfall started. Like it, love it. That's where it happened. She pissed off too many people. But yet these executives, because some book told them that they're smarter than everybody else, thought everybody was going to fawn all over, that the left was going to jump all over and they'd bring the right along to watch. No. They liked her and they liked her original message. She changed her message and people went, nope. Not getting behind that. She attacked Trump to hold him to a standard that she was not able to uphold. That's the one that really amazed me. All of a sudden, against Trump, she got this nose up in the air, I'm better than everybody else. But she's done some stuff in her life that, well, goes in direct conflict with what she was saying. I don't care that the modeling or comments or interviews, what she said in those, I don't care. But don't sit there and condemn other people when you've done or said worse than what you're condemning. That's what really screwed her, and not in a good way. And her maybe she'll pull out of this funk with her new show. Maybe it's a learning curve. She's doing a totally different show than she did when she first started. So, I mean, she's done some interviews, but that's not what made her famous. She got famous, for her views and the way she put it out there. But her views, it seems she's done a whole 180 on. We're going to take a break and come back. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Much Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. It's a messed up time we're in. It really is. And nothing seems to be slowing down the rhetoric. Nothing. It's just as bad. And just keeps getting worse. Oh, wait a minute. This London Finsbury Park mosque attack may not just be someone that hates Muslim. They're investigating it as an incident, as a terror attack. See how that plays out. And it wouldn't be the first time that a Muslim has attacked his own mosque to try to gain sympathy. I mean, they've burned down their own mosques, damaged their own mosque. And it's not going to be the last time. It's... Sorry, I'm flipping through some stuff on Facebook, and it's John Stamos cuddle tips, and it's got the guy that played Danny Tanner, Bob Saget. You know, he's giving these tips for cuddling, and the Saget's playing the woman and is cuddling right up with Stamos. It's funny as hell. Sorry, it's. Oh my God, I can't stop watching. It's funny as hell. Oh my God. All right, I gotta stop because. Oh. You got to be pretty set in your manhood to deal with that. I know that was a total right hand turn on the show, but it's so back to Kelly real quick. What While promoting her show, Kelly told numerous outlets that she felt like she was born to be a mainstream media star. Superstar. Oh, God. Things that pop in my head. As soon as Kelly said that, this is what pops in my head. I don't know if anybody remembers this one.
Ever since I was a little girl, the one thing that I wanted more than anything in the entire world was a kiss.
No, dang it. That's not what I want. Where is it? Where is it? Superstar. Damn it, now I'm not going to be able to find it. My mind's all over the map today. Oh, come on. Let's see. This should be it. This should be it. I can see this being Megyn Kelly. Where is it, dang it? Damn it, just the famous thing that she says in it, and they don't have it. Oh, this is pissing me off. Superstars, the movie. From Saturday Night Live. Superstar. All right, now I totally ruined it. But anyway, while promoting her show, Kelly told numerous outlets that she was born to be a mainstream media star. In a leaked recording that was released this week, Kelly even tells Alex Jones, "I'm a combination of Mike Wallace, Oprah Winfrey, and Larry the Cable Guy." Well, needless to say, she's been mocked about that. And then mainstream media and families of Sandy Hook victims have lambasted Kelly for telling Jones in a leaked audio, "I'm not going to be some guy. It's not going to be some gotcha hit piece. I promise you that." And what do? They edited it for a gotcha piece because, well, they were getting hammered over it. It is not good for Megyn Kelly. It really isn't. And it kind of, I know it's bad, but I'm sitting here laughing about it. She just thought she was going to be this next big star. Well, without the people behind you, you're nothing. And she seems to have forgotten that, as she pissed off a majority of the people that were behind her. You pissed the people off, and you lost everything. I don't know. I think it was the Washington Examiner. I think. That it's being reported that Special Counselor Robert Mueller hasn't decided whether to investigate the President Trump as part of the Russian probe. And now sources are telling me he's begun some preliminary plans to talk to some people in the administration, but he's not yet made that monumentous decision to go for a full-scale investigation. Well, my question is, number one, hope is not a order. And if there's no crime, how can you obstruct? Now, Newt Gingrich, he's been out there, and he's made some good points. That Mueller needs to step down and recuse himself. Everybody talks about recusing. There is so much confliction going on, it's not funny. That he needs to step down. You know, Schiffer, he needs to step down. He's just as guilty for what he's accused nuns of. None of this, none of that. You know, Democrats are just as guilty of all this, but they never step down. And the Republicans, these establishment, go, okay, we'll do what you want. Okay. The fuck is that shit? Where was independent investigator, independent counsel on the IRS investigation, on the Health and Human Sources? Where was independent counsel on Benghazi, on the email, Fast and Furious? A lot of conflict of interest over all that and nothing. But we're supposed to jump through hoops. I don't know. I don't like that Comey admitted he purposely leaked information that he wrote and that information came out falsely, incorrectly, so that independent counsel could be named. Anybody have an issue with that? And then he's saying that he couldn't directly leak it because of certain reasons. Well, just because you passed it on to a friend and you told him to leak it, that's the same as if Comey leaked it. There's no different. And now he admits there's these memos, but he didn't turn them in like federally required. Comey's breaking a lot of laws here. And, well, I didn't know I had to turn someone in if I saw a report, a felony. What? You're a lawyer first and an FBI agent, and you don't realize you have to report a felony? If I don't report a felony and I see it, I could be arrested and charged in connection with it. But an FBI agent doesn't. Anybody going, what the fuck? This is really showing, I mean, Hillary Clinton's really showed it, and it's getting worse that these people have a separate status. They're not held to the same standard that we are being held to. Why not? It's a very simple, you're holding us to the standard, they get held to the same goddamn standard. Just like I get tired of this, I can't lie to the police, but the police can lie to me. What? It's crazy. How? Why? This is something we got to take back control, and I think that was a big step in us electing Trump, was trying to take back control of our government to put it back in line where they answer to us. We don't answer to them. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of this senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday. And starting July 3rd, we will be moving, and we'll be taking over the nighttime airwaves. Will be 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., and the nighttime airwaves will never be the same again. So, as I said, Newt Gingrich was making his rounds, and he was saying a lot of things, and he put out there that, hey, Comey may be under investigation now. And he is the one that deliberately leaked information to the New York Times for the purpose of getting a special counsel. That could have put him under investigation. You know, it's not out of the realm. And now I'm also hearing there might be some Loretta Lynch investigations, that it may have opened a whole new door to Obama and Hillary. Because a lot of this goes back and ties to them, and ties to Susan Rice and all that. And it may have been a rabbit hole that they didn't want to go down because they're not going to like what they find. And I don't mean Russian collusion. I mean how it might start tearing into the Obama administration and his cast of characters. Now, with the 2018 midterm elections coming up, New Jersey might have a little issue going on in its state with Senator Bob Menendez, and it might give the GOP a shot to take his seat. And if you don't know, Bob Menendez is under investigation, has been under investigation for a while, and he has so far has appealed that he shouldn't have to testify and all this because he is a senator. He doesn't have to answer. Now, this all started. It's a numerous appeals stemming from his April 2015 indictment. Now, here we are in 2017, and it's still going on. Now, the Garden State senior senator maintains his innocence in a federal bribery case. The delays in the case, however, have complicated matters politically, observers note, creating a scenario where the state's Republican governor could appoint a successor if the incumbent is forced to step down. According to New Jersey state law, if Menendez should step down less than 70 days before the next election, the governor may make a temporary appointment of a senator of the United States. Given that New Jersey has a gubernatorial election this November, if Menendez were to leave his seat after August 30th, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie could be able to name a replacement who would not face voters until November 2018. The scenario was first raised by New Jersey Star-Ledger columnist, and Menendez camp, though, suggested it is pure fantasy. Yeah, because they have no plans to step him down. They always scream that Republicans have to step down if there's an investigation. Well, here is a investigation, and I believe one person's already been convicted underneath the same charges and incident. Now it comes to see just how much Bob Mendez was involved in it. I don't see him stepping down. Even if he were convicted, he's a Democrat. They will find every reason, every excuse why he shouldn't. Now, this is not the first time Mendez has been in the eyes of the court investigation. He had been linked that he was going to, there's some predator island, pedophile island, and there was a lot of links that he had taken several trips to this island. I don't know, but it's not the first time he's had an investigation. But even if they appoint a Republican in the state of New Jersey, that's not going to change shit. New Jersey is a lost cause, I'll tell you that right now. I'm from New Jersey. I was raised in New Jersey. New Jersey is a lost cause. I'm embarrassed for that state and just how damaged it has and is continue to go. It's an embarrassment. So, let's hop off of that. As we know, there's been protesting, but I believe so far they have been peaceful over the cop, the Minnesota police officer that shot and killed Mr. Castile. Well, he's been found innocent. All right, hold on. And 1 second. That was weird. It's now they're screaming there's no justice, there's no this. Yeah, there was. He was found innocent. It was put in front of a jury. The jury found him innocent. It's I think it's pretty simple. You listen to officers. When you don't listen, bad things happen. It's that simple. I feel bad that someone lost their life over this. It's what it is. You don't listen. Cops have a hard enough job as it is. It's, I don't know. Listen to the officers, especially if you have a weapon. You keep your hands away from wherever that weapon is at the time. You keep your hands up on the dash steering wheel. Anywhere that the officer can see that he's not in jeopardy until everything is straight and calm. Thousands of people get pulled over that are armed, that are legally carrying, don't get shot. But when you don't listen, that's when things go bad. I know we saw what happened after the shooting because the girlfriend was live streaming, which really, what the hell? We don't know what happened during the shooting. Or prior to the shooting, I should say. What made it worse was that live stream where she was pushing some lies. You know, I don't see an officer shooting. I've come across some asshole cops before, I have. But most of your officers are not out there just to, oh, you know what? I'm going to go into work today, and I'm just going to go shoot this son of a bitch just for the fun of it. No, that's not the way these guys work. So, we're almost done the show. Where are we? Oh, we're almost done with the show. I can't believe it. It's going by pretty quickly today. It didn't drag on like some days do. All right, that's going to be it for today. Remember, starting July 3rd, it's coming up fast. The Reaver of Common Sense will be moving to the nighttime. We're going to be taking over the nighttime airwaves. We will be 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm honored that I was asked to do that. And it's going to change the show a little bit. And it's going to add some new things to the show. And we'll talk about it more later. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. Have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.